on WMUN 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and the Gainbridge Ball State Cardinals Sports Network. Welcome to This Week in Ball State Sports, highlighting the Cardinal teams, administration, alumni, and community. Now here's the voice of the Cardinals, your host, Mick Tidrow.
Another Thursday morning live here on a WMUN for This Week in Ball State Sports. Thanks so much, Cardinals fans, for tuning in today and each and every week. You can check us out on replays. Just search This Week in Ball State Sports. Lots of content for you each and every week. Fun show lined up today. Kelli Phillips, head volleyball coach, joins us before the Cardinals head out to Bowling Green for the MAC tournament. Director of Athletics Jeff Mitchell also joins momentarily. And first up today is head coach Mike Uremovich of Ball State football. Coach, appreciate you jumping on with us here before you go to practice this morning.
Oh, good to be here.
Coach, before we get to football conversations, last week we waited until the very end of the show to try the word of the day. Today we're going to try it a little bit sooner. Today's word I think is a little bit easier, phishing. The practice of tricking internet users. We want to see it used in a sentence today. Coach, what do you got?
We're fishing for a lot of touchdowns.
We'll take it.
All right.
Don't get caught fishing or somebody trying a phishing attempt in your emails. That happens way too often.
I do the phishing stuff from our IT department. When I get that training every 6 months, I do have to complete that. So I'm familiar with it.
That's smart. That's very smart. Phishing, watch out for it. Don't fall for it. That's Phishing Word of the Day. Steve Lindell, that's for you today here on This Week at Ball State Sports. Coach, when you're looking at these last two games of the season from a football standpoint, you got 2 games to go in the regular season, need both to be bowl eligible. How are you approaching that with the team?
We're really approaching it 1 week at a time like we have all year. I know you get bored with that answer, but really it's about Toledo right now and going out and performing well on the road and getting our first road win of the year and cleaning some things up from last week. So I'm excited for the opportunity for our guys. We're playing a really good football team on the road Saturday and excited to go out there and go get to work.
You mentioned cleaning some things up. What do you want to see this week?
Honestly, it's stuff that we can control. You know, in the last time out, we had some discipline issues with some penalties that really cost us some drives offensively. We had what we consider a discipline issue in bad eye discipline and not seeing the formation correctly, which led to a first down, which led to a long drive defensively. So things that we can control. You know, you're never going to win every physical battle, but we have to control the things that we can control, and that's getting lined up properly, that's stopping on the whistle, it's not jumping off sides, it's all of the things that we call no talent issues that require zero talent to be disciplined and be lined up correctly.
Head coach Mike Uremovich, Ball State football, joining us here on This Week in Ball State Sports. You mentioned Toledo, Coach. You've been able to see a Toledo team on tape throughout the course of the season. What have you seen from them so far?
They've really gotten better as the year's gone on. They're really tough at home. They've outscored their opponents in the second quarter at home. I think it's 56 or 52-3. They've really jumped on teams early at home. So we have to get off to a fast start. They're very talented defensively. I think they're first or second in the country in total defense. They're only giving up 88 yards a game on the ground. They got double-digit interceptions, over 50 TFLs. So they're really disruptive on defense. I got a safety that's going to be an NFL player. And then offensively, they're what you'd expect out of Toledo. They get very good quarterback play. They have an elite all-MAC wide receiver that plays in the slot and 2 good running backs. So they're a really well-rounded team. They're always one of the most talented teams in the league. I feel the same about them this year.
Coach, you mentioned it. They're only giving up, 3 points in the second quarter in MAC games so far this year. What is attributed to that? Is it they just figure out their opponents in the first quarter really well and adjust for the second quarter? What do you think?
There is definitely some of that. I mean, they're very well coached, and defensively, the defense coordinator does a great job. And when you're watching the film in game order, you'll see teams maybe get a play here or there that they schemed up and gain some yards or get a first down or ultimately a score. And the next time out, when they try to fix it, when they try to run it again, Toledo's fixed it. They've lined up differently. They've adjusted to what you've done. So you have to be willing and ready to adjust offensively from drive to drive to drive, and you really can't give them the same look that many times because they will fix it.
Coach, they've only given up a max of 10 points at home in a MAC game this year. How do you want to be the one to crack the code and get more than that?
It starts in the first quarter. I mean, we have to get off to a good start. We have to get off to a good start. We have to control the football. That's going to obviously lead to points for us, but also keep their offense off the field. So, it really is one play at a time, but you have to get off to a good start, because what they've done to people is they've jumped on them, and then it becomes much easier for them to play defense into their strengths when you're going to have to throw the ball to try to come back. So, offensively, we have to eliminate turnovers and control the football, and defensively, they score in a lot of explosive plays. They have dynamic playmakers at receiver. And I already talked about the tailback. So they're going to gain yards. They're going to get first downs, but we have to get them down. They can't be big plays.
Head coach Mike Uremovich joining us live here on This Week in Ball State Sports every Thursday, 9 to 9:30 right here on WMUN. Coach, from Toledo's offensive perspective, Tucker Gleason's been the quarterback this year. What have you seen from him on tape?
Really accurate passer. Does a real good job. He's an experienced player. He's throwing the ball. He's had 17 touchdown passes, and I think 6 or 7 interceptions. So he's over 2-1 there, so he's not making bad decisions with the ball. But the main thing you notice on him is the ball comes out really fast. He knows where he's going pre-snap a lot of time based on coverage, so you have to kind of disguise your coverages and give him different looks, because the ball comes out fast, which obviously helps him in protection, and he knows where he's going with it a lot of times before it's snapped.
And a lot of times he's hitting the same wide receiver throughout the course of the year. His go-to has been Junior Vander Ross. 9 touchdown receptions, 749 yards on 64 catches. Seems like he's the guy that's been going to, whether it's double team or single coverage. How do you try and slow a guy like him down?
Yeah, he's the slot guy I was talking about, and they move him around a little bit, but he's in the slot a lot, and you got to know where he's at, because that's where the ball's going the majority of the time, like you said. But he has beat double coverage, he's beat bracket coverage, he's beat man, he's beat zone. So you do have to mix it up and give him different looks and hopefully keep him off balance, because if you just let him run free, he's going to get the ball.
And somebody that the MAC is very familiar with, Trayvon Rudolph, transfer from Northern Illinois, now on Toledo's wide receiver core. He's been the number 2 guy for Gleason so far with Vander Ross. How do you make sure that he doesn't go for a big game? Because we've all seen that he's capable of doing that too.
He definitely is, and that's what's challenging. When you got one guy, you can kind of, we played Ohio earlier in the year, and they have good receivers, but they had the one kid that was clearly, 3-1 targets to everybody else. So this is a little different scenario, and the transfer from the Northern, the Rudolph kid, he's also a dynamic kickoff returner. He's ran back multiple kickoffs for touchdowns in his career, so that's another way he'll get touches. So, you have to get him to where it's a known passing situation, and maybe you can lighten the box a little bit and play more coverage to try to get over the top of both of those guys.
Head coach Mike Uremovich, Ball State football, live with us on This Week in Ball State Sports. Coach, you mentioned that you want to try and establish the run in a game where Toledo only allows 88 rushing yards per game. How do you do that, and is Quay Ashley going to be okay to go?
He's still a game-time decision if he's going to be able to play or not, but I still feel good about the guys that we're going to, if he can go, great. We hope he can. We'll know more after practice today, but if not, I'm confident in the running backs that we have. But the way you got to establish a run against these guys is you got to make sure that you pick up their pressures, you pick up their movements, and your assignment sound, because their defensive tackles are 2 of the most active guys that we've played, and they're going to get off blocks, and they're going to try to get them in one-on-one situations with your guards. They'll play them head up a lot of times instead of in the shade on the nose, so they can got a 2-way go. So we got to be assignment sound in the run game, and then your running plays that you run, they're not all going to be great. Obviously, they're one of the best rushing defenses in the country, but you can't allow the TFLs that they're getting. You can't have negative plays that put you behind the sticks.
Coach T.J. Horton, Jalen Bonds received the majority of the carries outside of quarterback Kyle Kelly last week. What excites you about Jalen Bonds' game, a 6', 200-pound freshman?
He's going to be a great player here. I'm really excited about him. He keeps getting better and better. He's a true freshman. We've been able to preserve his redshirt year, which is good. He'll get to play in the last 2 games of the year. But coming in as a freshman, it's challenging, obviously, at running back with protections and all the stuff you have to do. But he's continued to improve week after week, and I'm excited for him Saturday to get another opportunity to play. And I'm really excited for his future here.
Head coach Mike Uremovich, Ball State football, live with us on This Week in Ball State Sports. Coach, what do you notice most about Jason Candle, Toledo-led coached teams?
You can tell that he's been there. You can tell that he's built the program. I always say in warm-ups, you can tell if they have a good plan as a staff, if they have a good plan as a recruiting staff, if they do a good job developing. When you look at a position group and all the guys look the same, because they have a profile that they want of their offensive linemen. They've had multiple years. I don't know how many years he's been there, 7, 8, 9 years. They have the tailbacks look the same. The quarterbacks all look the same. The D tackles look the same. So he's got their roster to a point where they're developing guys, they're bringing in transfers, but they have a profile what they want at every position, which frankly is what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to the depth that they have, where you have multiple guys you're scared of in their receiver core. They have multiple tailbacks that are high-level players. They play very hard. They're well coached. Obviously, he's been very successful there, and I've coached against him a few other times. But you always know they're going to show up ready to play.
Coach, appreciate your time as always. Enjoy practice today, and we'll talk with you Saturday.
No problem. See you there.
That's head coach Mike Uremovich, Ball State football, joining us here on This Week in Ball State Sports. All right, we'll step aside, come back, and Director of Athletics Jeff Mitchell's on the line next. This Week in Ball State Sports continues soon.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Ball State Sports on a Thursday morning, November 20th, live in studio. Thank you to Leslie Griffin, our producer. Coach, you just joined us live, and now we have Director of Athletics Jeff Mitchell with us on the line as well. Jeff, appreciate your time this morning, and we're rolling here before the weekend's events commence. But tonight we've got some women's basketball. We'll get to all of it. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mick. Great to be here.
What's your week been like, Jeff? I know the holiday season's right around the corner. Thanksgiving's next week, but what's your week been like to make sure that you have everything taken care of before all of that comes around?
Well, it's funny you asked that question. Yesterday, in two different occasions, I questioned people with whom I was meeting whether Thanksgiving was next week or not. It is sneaking up on us, which is a good thing to the extent that the fall is racing by and we're having a lot of fun as that is happening. But it's also scary when you think about the year is coming to an end as we enter this holiday season. The week has been great. A lot of work, Mick, getting ready for tonight, with women's basketball's matchup against Cincinnati. Doing a lot of planning. This has been a very light week in terms of events, which has been a welcome change for our staff to let them catch their breath a little bit after the last few weeks that have been so event heavy, and getting ready for all the fun and the activity that's coming in the winter, and already planning for next year on some things. So it just never stops, Mick.
It doesn't stop, but one piece of news that came out that helps this continue momentum go just jumped out this morning. Of Ball State Athletics continues to trend with program records. 94% graduation success rate. What are your thoughts surrounding that, Jeff?
Well, I'm very proud of our student athletes, and it's a testament to Ball State. It's a testament to our coaches, our academic support staff, certainly the caliber of our student athletes, because we are going to continue to emphasize the importance of education, particularly as the intercollegiate athletics landscape changes a little bit.
Just a slight chuckle there from you.
Yeah. One of the biggest fears, that I have, and that I think I share with certainly our colleagues on campus, but across the country as well, is that we can lose sight of the significance of education. And we certainly are going to emphasize it here. It's one of my core pillars, as I've talked about in public and in private. When you talk about the game or the field of baseball, to analogize what I'm talking about, the pitcher's mound being student athlete, and the student athlete is the most important individual that we serve. And then first base is about a commitment to academic excellence. Second base is about a commitment to institutional control, compliance. Third base is about a commitment to physical integrity, being good stewards of resources entrusted to us. And if we do all those three things well, then we have a chance to touch home plate and win championships, which we've now accomplished 10 times in the last 2.5 years. But that academic piece is first, and we're going to be committed to that. And so these reports that are coming out, a 94% graduation success rate, an APR report that will come out in the future that also has set a record. I won't comment on what that is since it's not public yet. We had all of our teams last academic year record a 3.0 or better GPA in both the fall and the spring terms. It's hard not to celebrate those successes, and again, very proud of our student athletes for the work they're displaying in the classroom. And I think it helps on the athletic fields and the courts of competition, and I think they're better performers that way when they can be successful in the classroom. And again, 10 championships to tout over the last 2.5 years is remarkable, and looking forward to adding several more as we continue.
You talk about it, Jeff, 10 championships in the last 2.5 years. Ball State women's volleyball has been a big part of that. They are looking for another championship to add in the Mid-American Conference tournament. That's coming up this weekend. They are in the semifinals automatically, waiting the winner of Miami or Toledo to play Saturday. Championship is on Sunday. How excited are you to watch that crew go to work to try and win a championship?
Well, I'm very excited. This team has been fun to watch, and I know you're going to talk to Coach Kelli Phillips here shortly. I'm so proud of her staff, and our student athletes, because they started off the year facing some pretty significant adversity with some injuries, with a hard schedule. They had to learn what their new rhythm and cadence was going to be in terms of how they played, what their rotations looked like, and they figured it out. And it's been fun to watch them really progress as a team, fun to watch them compete, fun to watch them battle through some tough matches, even when they were winning. I mean, they played a lot of 5-set matches, and so they've learned how to win, and it's just a joy to watch them compete, and certainly look forward to doing that this weekend.
Director of Athletics for Ball State, Jeff Mitchell, joining us here on This Week in Ball State Sports. Jeff, we'll give you a quick second to think about how to use the word of the day today, phishing, the practice of tricking internet users. We all know that this is a big part of today's day and age, so we'll give you a moment to think about using phishing in a sentence. Jeff, when we look at the rest of what's going on right now, basketballs are both in full swing. We mentioned women's basketball plays tonight against Cincinnati. That team's red hot, 4-0 to start the year, and welcome a Bearcats team that the Cardinals are trying to beat once again.
Talking about a team that's fun to watch is women's basketball, and they have so many different weapons. Because every night it seems like somebody different is scoring the most points, or there's a new high in rebounds, assists, and the way we play from a suffocating defensive style that turns into offense, and even when we slow it down and get into a half-court offensive set, we're just able to move the ball really well using a motion offense. And I commend Coach Kelli, that staff, and certainly our talented student athletes for the way they are competing early on in the season to learn how to win, particularly with a brand new team. So it's really fun to watch the early progress, and I think just stopping by practice a couple times this week, the intensity with which they practice is pretty significant too. Coach Kelli will probably tell you that they're not practicing hard enough, but that's okay. They're continuing to develop, and I just am excited to watch them play tonight against a Big 12 opponent, and it'll be a challenge. But I'm encouraged by the fact that there's a team effort. Almost after every game we've played thus far, you can really describe the win as a team effort style of win, and I think that's awesome to have, particularly early on in the season. All
right, Jeff, fishing in a sentence, what do you got for us here today?
Well, I know we've got to talk about it from an internet context. I don't know that I am prepared to do that, but if you were to look at the football field as a kind of a web-based environment, we are going to employ some fishing techniques on the defensive side to trick Toledo into giving us the ball.
I'm here for it. Let's keep it going. It's
the best I could do today on short notice, man.
No, that is that we didn't give you very much time. We caught Coach U off guard. We started the show with Coach U. I didn't even give him 3 minutes to think about it. So, well, maybe a heads up next week for our next show. We'll get a little bit better for that.
The challenge, Mick, that you have provided me is that you teased the word of the day, and then you immediately asked a question which I was forced to answer.
You were forced. That's the key word.
And it's difficult for me to think of the answer to another question while I'm giving you the answer to the original question. So we'll work on it. I'll commit to doing better. How about that?
And I'll commit to doing better as well. I'll give you a text heads up next time what the word of the day is. But you get emails all the time, phishing emails. Our IT department has some fun with it, I'm sure, on a daily basis. Director of Athletics, Jeff Mitchell, joining us here on This Week in Ball State Sports. Jeff, always appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mick. Go Cards.
That's Director of Athletics, Jeff Mitchell. Yeah, we'll give him more of a heads up on the word of the day, I guess. Steve Lindell, can we do that? Is that allowed? We'll ask Steve after the show here on This Week in Ball State Sports. Kelli Phillips is next.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Final segment here on This Week in Ball State Sports, November 20th on a Thursday morning. We're live each and every Thursday, 9 to 9:30 right here on WMUN. All replays, just search This Week in Ball State Sports wherever you get your podcasts. Final segment today is head coach Kelli Phillips of women's volleyball joining us live on the lines. Coach, appreciate you joining us before you guys take off for Bowling Green tomorrow morning.
I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Coach, what has this week been like to get ready for the MAC tournament after clinching the MAC regular season title?
Mick, I am sorry. There is some drumming. Okay, now I can hear you. I was like, I cannot hear anything over the great band drumming right now.
I love it.
So I'm back in now. Okay, I'm with you.
Oh, good. You're back in. Coach, I can hear you now. What's the last week been like for you guys getting ready for the MAC tournament after clinching the MAC regular season championship?
You know, it has been a week of how to maintain patience. I think we have been so used to playing recently, like on Thursday, Fridays, scout on our Wednesday. And so this week has almost felt like a double of what we're used to in a preparation standpoint. But it's been a good thing. I think I keep reminding myself and the team of just a day at a time. It's about our process. And we don't even know, who our next opponent is yet. I think that can be a blessing of just, you can totally focus on yourself and making sure we're sharpening all the different aspects of our game, and no matter who we're playing, that we feel like we are ready to go. We'll prepare once we know we're up to battle. But for the week leading into it, we just get to totally focus on us, and I think that's a really great position to be in.
Ball State women's volleyball 21-9 this year, ends the regular season on a 7-game win streak, 17-1 in conference play, a regular season title. Coach, how impressed were you of this group to fight through, be resilient throughout the course of the season, especially with so many preseason things that took place?
Yeah, I have been, incredibly proud of this group. And I'm not one, especially in the middle of the season, to be really reflective backwards. But I have really tried, after our last week at Eastern Michigan, when we knew we had clinched, we had 2 days off going into this last week. I told the team, hey, let's really enjoy it Saturday and then get back to work on Sunday. And going through that, I just took a moment to make sure. That's one of the things I've been trying to tell myself. Hey, we got to make sure we enjoy this and live in it. But at the same time, man, we still have so much more work to do and finding that balance. But it really gave me some moments to just be so grateful to be with this group. They have been incredibly resilient, incredibly coachable, agile, every word that you could ask for from a coach to what you want from your players. They have done that and more. And I'm just really, really proud of the work that they've done. And I'm excited to see where we're going to go from here.
Coach, the Lindsey Green-Reese Axness tandem as the setter duo of the week, I think 4 times now this year. It seems like it's on repeat. What have those two done to just be so spectacular, setting the table on offense?
So I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. I feel like that's our whole team, right? It's been so unreliant on just one single aspect of the game. The passers are setting our setters in great positions to be able to deliver and run the offense at a high level. We've used a unique offense. We've changed things as the season progressed, and I give a ton of credit to the setters and their willingness. We meet every single week, and we're talking through different things. I think I was actually laughing at myself. I had my setter meeting yesterday talking to Lindsey Green and just how she has just been so willing. She's a junior. She's kind of more supposed to be that experienced guy, and I've still asked her to do a ton of things different. We've asked technique-wise to systems-wise, and her buy-in, and then same with Reese Axness as a freshman, just really coming in full guns a-blazing and really just taking in everything. It's a combination of all of those things that has allowed our offense and our setters to be super successful. And I think everybody realizes that is what's so impressive about this team. Everyone understands that. It is not about a one-person show. And the setters certainly can be unsung heroes at times. And luckily they've gotten some great recognition this year. But again, it's so much about all the different parts. That's honestly the beauty of volleyball.
Ball State head coach Kelli Phillips joining us before women's volleyball takes off to Bowling Green for the Mid-American Conference Championship run. Semifinal Saturday, championship on Sunday. Coach, with everything that you just talked about, what makes this team ultimately ready to go for this championship push?
I think the whole entire season we've kind of mapped out our progression and how we're going to go about our business, and they have just really believed in that. And going into this last couple of weeks, it's been the same thing. We're just sharpening the axe, making sure I tell them every day, any possible thing that we think we could possibly face versus any opponent. Do we have a plan A, a plan B, and what we're going to do in order to counteract that and to make sure that we're still staying sharp in the areas that are our strengths? And I think we've continued to just train really hard every single day, and that's all you can do. You got to go into the tournament playing free, and the way to do that is to feel like you have prepared to the max ability. You have done your process time and time again, and then you kind of gain the right to be able to play confident and free and joyful. And I think this group has shown time and time again their ability to do that, whatever kind of pressure I'm putting on them and the different things we're continuously trying to get better at. They just soaked it up, and really accepted that. And I think that's going to pay dividends just in our confidence level when you go into a tournament, and when you lose, you're done. And I think we kind of are going to thrive on that. We're ready, we get it, and everybody's always coming to get us. And so we're prepared for that moment and hopefully can enjoy it and play hard and have some fun.
Coach, we always appreciate your time here on This Week in Ball State Sports. Thank you so much, and good luck this weekend. We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mick. Have a good one.
You too. That's head coach Kelli Phillips of Ball State Women's Volleyball joining us live on This Week in Ball State Sports. They get the winner of Miami-Toledo in the semifinals Saturday. A win there. They're in the championship on Sunday. Thank you to Kelli Phillips, Coach Uremovich, and Jeff Mitchell joining us here on This Week in Ball State Sports. And Leslie Griffin, our producer. I'm Mick Tidrow signing off on This Week in Ball State Sports this week. Make sure to check out all replays by searching wherever you get your podcasts, This Week in Ball State Sports. We'll talk with you next week on Thanksgiving morning. We'll still have a show right here on WMUN.
Thanks for listening to This Week in Ball State Sports. The preceding has been a Gainbridge Ball State Cardinals Sports Network presentation on 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, WMUN.